Call the regular meeting of the Fayette County Commissioners to order. Please rise for pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I would ask that if department heads are here and they have no need today to come before us, I'd ask for you not to stay. I'd ask for anyone else that doesn't have business, I'd ask you to please not stay. You're welcome to, but we have to open the doors to a certain number, but we're asking for limited social contact. So with that said, I'd ask you to please silence your phones, and we'll move on. Ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll move to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded that we approve the minutes of the previous meeting as presented. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Moving on, Matt,
Yeah,
thank you for being here.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to come by and update you on where we are at the health department. Currently in Indiana, as of this morning, there were 30 cases, 159 tested, 30 of those were tested positive. We have had 2 deaths. Do have 2 cases currently in Franklin County and 1 case in Wayne County. Per media reports, I haven't gotten a confirmation from the state yet. But one of the big items now that a lot of people are concerned with, and I wanted to update you on, is testing. People getting tested for the coronavirus. All testing currently, we are working with Reed. Reed has to make a request through Indiana State Department of Health to get a test on a person. So currently it's all going through Reed. It's not being done at the health department. If you suspect you are sick or think you should be tested or think you're high risk, call your physician. Don't just show up at the doctor's office. Don't show up at the health department wanting to get tested. Call first. And they actually have some only are testing the high risk people. So, but at the health department, we have been working with the local businesses, local law enforcement, media, first responders, and even faith-based organizations getting recommendations out on how to handle it. We are distributing some masks and gowns to emergency responders so that when they are going on calls, they are now automatically putting on masks, putting on gowns, and using universal precautions so that anybody they deal with, they will not be at risk. So, but the most important message at this time still is if you are sick, stay home. If you need care, if you need emergency transport, something like that, let them know your condition so that whoever's coming knows what to expect. And if you need to go to a doctor, call them first. So, and still always use social distancing and wash your hands. So, but we are monitoring and testing in Fayette County as well. We have no positive results yet. So.
Any questions for Matt? Or comments?
Got a comment. Are we going to get into about the courthouse policy? I'm going to go ahead and talk about the courthouse policy.
We can, if you'd
Might
like.
as well.
Do we want to officially adopt these guidelines that we met with employees and worried about?
Yeah, this employee guidance.
Yeah. You want to speak to it or you want me to?
We, to be quite honest with you, where this originated, this policy originated was the governor's office sent down what the state was doing in reference to their employees and how they were handling the COVID-19 pandemic. Jane took this and mirrored the state and modified it to fit our policy handbooklet as well. But this action will allow our employees to go through a number of steps to maintain their health and safety, and it gives them leeway in how things are going to be handled as they go through this chart. This would be a guidance for this situation only, and it would be addressed and modified as time required. Am I saying that correctly?
That's correct, yes.
But this allows us to maintain our public access, but yet I believe it allows our employees to stay healthy and safe along with that. If either one of you had anything else to add.
Well, we should mention, I guess, there's no need for us to read through this 4-page memorandum. It's already been distributed to employees. We'll make sure that the newspaper gets either a paper copy or electronic copy, whatever you prefer, Bob. And it does give some guidelines for, some safety guidelines for county employees during this COVID-19 situation. The courthouse is going to remain open. We're going to remain doing business. With certain precautions will be taken to keep not only employees in the courthouse, but the general public as safe as possible. Hopefully, and if Matt can keep up the good work there, there's no confirmed cases in the Fayette County. You're going to keep it that way, right, Matt?
I can't make that guarantee.
Okay. Well, do the best you can.
This isn't West Virginia, you know.
The main thing is, just be as safe as you can. So we are taking steps to protect courthouse employees and remain open to do business. So
Essential.
I think that, and this situation is fluid. This could change in a week or 10 days or 2 weeks. We don't know. Nobody knows right now how it's.
And what we would recommend is what we talked about earlier, essential business only, please. People that can do business over the phone, through email, call first, don't come down to the health department. Or don't come to the courthouse. So call first, see if you can do it over the phone, see if you can do it by email, through the regular mail, see if that's your option. So you can do that first. So. But then,
Should we mention the treasurer's office right now? And when we're talking about this.
If you want to talk about all of it, that's fine, I don't care.
I'll mention this, as
Right now.
part of our precautions that we've discussed today. The treasurer's office is getting ready to send out tax statements here in a couple of weeks. So next month is going to, it's tax time. Tax collections still have to be made. We don't have anything, we don't have an announcement printed out to present right this minute, but we have agreed to urge as many people as possible to pay your property taxes by mail this year. And you can mail them in, or there is a drop box outside the treasurer's office that can be used to minimize traffic inside that office. That 50-cent stamp would save you whoever you are from having to stand in line and possibly expose yourself to an illness, let alone those around you. So we are going to urge as many people as possible pay taxes either by mail or use the drop box. And I know in certain situations that won't be possible, but anything to cut down on the amount of traffic inside the courthouse while this situation is going will help everyone involved. And I think, I don't know if we can, I think we should let the judges speak for themselves on the courts. I don't think I should speak to that. That's all I want to say about the tax collections. Is there anything else you want to add, Mark?
Are we going to talk about the front door though, and the exits?
We are, it does appear that we probably will limit access to the courthouse to one entrance and have someone posted there to more than likely check temperatures of people coming in and out of the courthouse, or at least coming in. If you come to the front door with a high fever, we're going to ask you to go back home. Sorry, Sam. I mean, this is not directed toward you, but other area courthouses are doing the same thing, and it's strictly in the interest of public safety and health, you know. We don't.
Dr. White went to get the screening questionnaire that Reed is using so that we can use it here as well.
Great.
And then he's also getting a temperature, thermal thermometer or a laser or whatever they are.
Yeah. All right, great, thank you.
Well, also, I think at that front desk, it would make sense, be prudent to have them inquire about if the business is essential, if it's timely, if it's something that can be done over a phone. But I think those are prudent questions to be asked at that front desk.
Right. Okay.
And then I've also checked with Wayne, Alvin called Wayne County on their policy. The commissioners in the health department decided
Jointly.
jointly to set that policy, so. And then I've checked with the county attorney to see if there's anything additional that we need to do to set that policy. So I'll wait to hear, I'll let you know what I hear from our health department attorney.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion on that? I would entertain a motion to approve right now this employee guidance policy.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the Fayette County COVID-19 employee guidance.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded that we approve the Fayette County COVID-19 employee guidance policy. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Is there a motion to institute the one-door entrance and screenings?
I'll move to approve it using the one-door entrance, which would probably be this one here because
The handicap?
handicapped entrance and the checks, I guess you call it.
And then also it'll be over in the annex as well, because the public comes in there.
For the annex station.
I'll second the motion.
It's motion made and seconded that we institute a one-door entrance policy and screening at that entrance. Is there any other questions or comments?
Do we, are we confident, Matt, that we can get this set up before the end of the week or not?
It should be as long as we can, the big question is personnel. So Wayne County is alternating between offices, according to Alvin. So one day it's the treasurer's office, has somebody there, next day it's another office. And then deputy, and always a deputy. They actually are having 3. They're having 3 people, so. So the number of people you need are 1 at the door, varies and might depend on flow and traffic and what's scheduled for the day, how many people you need, so. But as far as, I don't know what, it'd be more up to the sheriff to determine if we just need a table there, or if we need something for security or what, but, so.
Okay, I think we do have,
But we have the questionnaire ready, we have the thermometer ready, we have the temperatures and the guidelines there,
Okay.
so it's just
matter of getting the IT
staffing.
and the staffing, and I think we have the agreement of offices to help with that, and the sheriff has helped us with security. So I think we can go when everybody's kind of in.
Yeah, whenever the sheriff's ready to have somebody there,
We'll be ready tomorrow morning. As soon as you guys are ready, I'll have somebody ready to
Okay, all
go.
right.
If I'll do it. If they're busy.
Jane, can your office kind of coordinate the office holders sharing
Sure.
that schedule? So that we kind of know ahead of time and realize that somebody's gonna have to be there prior to opening, so, because all employees and elected officials will be questioned and scanned as well as the general public every day, so.
You said we will have a thermometer?
yes, Dr. White went to get one, and then Michael said he had one, so then hopefully we can have a backup that way.
Well, we'll need one for probation to use as well.
Hey, I got a question. What happens if we have somebody come in, leave, and come back again? Do they get retested again?
I think they should be each time they.
Yeah, the questionnaire, it's just a few short questions, and then the temperature is an instant thermometer on the forehead. So I believe it's 92 degrees.
So that's
With-
any time you come though?
Yeah,
If you make
92
sure
degrees on
chicks
the
are gonna
forehead, I
get
believe is a
tested.
101 point something, so that's would be the standard, and I'll double check that.
All right.
99.6, anything above that.
Okay. But I know it correlates different from where you take the temperature.
Yeah. I think Dr. White was saying 92 or something like that.
Yeah. So, no.
Equivalent
Yeah,
is.
I'll double check that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Is there any other questions or discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Okay, is Bill Gray here?
It's not.
Okay, he was not gonna be, was he?
No, he called in and said he was gonna make it. I sent you guys a couple of proposals.
Yeah. He had, maintenance needs, there was a discussion last month. That's not what I need.
Sorry.
The domestic water heater, one of them was needing replaced.
We've already replaced it. We got a claim on that right now. This is a boiler. This is the boiler that's out. The water heat,
I don't know anything about this one then,
I think,
because he was supposed to get quotes on the water heater.
I know. So let's see, we just bought the new washing machine.
Washing machine.
Yeah. But this is a boiler. This is not a water heater.
Well, it says water heater, right here. Oh, right,
I'm looking at this
Under-
first page. County jail domestic
under scope of work.
boiler install.
But he told me that the water heater was,
Okay.
Well, he said the
20-some
water heater
thousand.
like $11,000 or something.
well, we were talking that, but that was the last one we put in. Now, the two bids are 22, 111 and 22, 420. And I'm assuming we probably need to
Better
move.
talk through him.
I wasn't expecting $22,400.
I was, but
We didn't make no
I had
gold,
talked to
man.
Bill since, but. So we can, if your pleasure is to hold off, then. But just remember, we only have one water heater over at the jail. The longer we put it off, the,
Can we just call him and see if we can get him up here?
you try it. Where'd you see it?
The hospital, it's not.
Oh, he's at the hospital.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, we've got two items from him today, too. One on the lighting project. I would recommend taking that under advisement.
Yeah, I'm not
I
interested
just
in
told
it.
us that way.
We don't have to act on that.
No, but the water heater is what concerns me.
Yeah, I'd say we could vote on it and then it's up to him to go ahead and get the
Yeah.
work here done.
This is from Johnson Controls.
That's the
We can't
cheapest.
afford to have the others around.
And he did say that nobody else was cheaper than him. You wanna go ahead and buy it?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to effect to what company, Johnson Controls, to purchase the hot water heater from Johnson Controls for $22,111.
Motion made.
Second.
Motion made and seconded that we go ahead and approve the quote from Johnson Controls. Any discussions or questions? I might say that this will have to come from Cume Cap.
Yeah, Cume Jail's busted on it.
It's in the red, so we have that remodeling line item that we could pay for it from. So,
Well, it is a mighty big water heater. They get a lot of use.
I think the one that they're operating on now, when I was commissioner before, we replaced it. So it's been 12
Everything
years.
you messed with went to pot.
Yeah, no, it's still running. This is the original one, I believe. This is still an original.
I don't know. There is one rule though about water heaters, so we can all agree on it. All water heaters go bad.
Oh, yeah.
Sooner or later. You know?
When you don't want it to happen.
Yeah, and they, obviously, they're not getting any cheaper.
Right. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. All right. Let's, I think everything else with Bill can wait for another day. Jay, do you have any?
I've got one thing.
All right.
I'll let you off easy today.
Just me?
Waiting on your thing. I don't even miss nothing. We had one employee that quit and went to a better job, and he's one of the new ones. And I had a equipment operator move back down to that truck job. So now I've got an opening for equipment operator, and I've got an application. If you want to see the application for the one I'm thinking about calling in and interviewing on him, this is the only application I got, so I'll need it back. I get his phone number and stuff on it. But I figured I'd bring down and let you see it. It looks like it'd be a good choice for it.
It does look like he's got a resume that fits the need.
Looks like he'd fit in good.
I hope he stays, would stay.
You know,
You haven't interviewed him at all?
No, I'll call him in tomorrow.
Okay.
That's what he does now.
Any problems with him interviewing him?
No, so go ahead and do the interview,
Okay.
would be my guess.
You might change your mind once you talk to him, but
Well, you never know.
The
I've
resume
been
looks
fooled
good.
before.
yeah.
He might change his mind.
Tell him he has to come to my house and get 5 gallons of walnuts too.
He has to what?
Come to my house and pick up 5 gallons of walnuts.
First, to qualify.
Yep.
I take it you know him then. Okay, I'll tell him. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Bill, Mackey, do you have something for us today?
Yeah, I was just wanting to know if you made a decision yet on the trail for Bridge 90, if you want to do anything, or widen the piers, or how you want to handle that. Design engineers like to know shortly, so he can move on with his.
Your
side of it.
contacts with the trail committee, they asked if we at least consider widening the piers.
That was their wish, was about the most they would want right now. But because they don't want to be cut off completely, you never know what the future's going to hold.
Right.
And that option was gonna cost about $30,000?
About 54, and we'd pay 20% of that.
20,
So it cost us just under $11,000
okay, yeah.
for our share, or so.
Well, I'd hate not to do it now, and then 10, 20 years from now, somebody wish we had of.
Need those piers.
Yes, yeah, because we don't know what's gonna happen
No.
that far ahead.
That's what they thought, you know.
Yeah.
They, don't know how, something may happen good, and they may be able to get what they want. And we're gonna move the trail to the east side of the bridge. Makes more sense for safety and everything, instead of the west side.
What do you think?
You guys.
Well, I can go along with widening the piers. But I think right now that's as far as we really
Yeah.
need to go.
I can too. That's,
It's not an exorbitant amount of money.
No, not for the possibility of getting a magnificent trail over there someday.
Yeah. And I'm sure by then there's going to be some change of ownership in the surrounding properties, sooner or later.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the widening of the piers on Bridge 90 at the expense that Bill just explained, 20% of $54,000.
I'll second it.
there's been a motion made and seconded that we go ahead and ask our engineers to design in wider piers to plan for future pedestrian crossing at that extra cost. Is there any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Is Michael back here someplace? Okay. Lisa, you're up. Thank you for waiting.
No problem. Okay, so real quick, last time we were here, we were talking about moving some of the polling locations. One of them that was still up in the air was the Frazee Center. We have found out we're not gonna be able to use that because of construction. So we are proposing moving C3 that is currently at the Frazee Center over to Peace Lutheran with C2. Still have 2 boards for C2, 2 boards for C3, but that makes the most sense right now to keep them close together. And of course, with COVID-19, we are really urging voters to do absentee by mail.
Okay.
So,
Which starts?
which starts April 7th.
Okay.
Yeah. They can start requesting now, but they won't actually be able to get their ballot until we approve them, and the public test will be on the 23rd, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you anticipate this to be the last amendment to your list of polling places?
As far as I know, we've secured everything else.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
You need our approval?
Sir?
Yes.
Yes. We
Okay.
need a motion.
Well, I'll move to approve the amended list of polling places for
Okay.
the 2020 primary election as the clerk just presented.
I'll second it.
There's a motion made and seconded that we approve the amended polling sites for the 2020 primary as presented to us today. Is there any other questions or comments for Lisa? All in favor?
Aye.
We are gonna have
Yes.
sanitizer and wipes so long as I can find them. According to the State Department of Health, we need to do that, so I've made a few 5 a.m. trips to Walmart. So, as long as we can find them, we'll have them there.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. Any other department heads? Joey, do you have anything this morning? Or second? Okay, thanks. Jeff, do you have anything?
I do not.
Let's see, accountant. All right. Move on to mail. Is there any mail that needs to be presented? Old business. We have taken care of Bridge 90, so that comes off. The only thing we have left under old business would be, that I'm aware of, would be the Second Amendment resolution. We, last meeting, discussed the Second Amendment. Are these, and we had a recommendation from our attorney, and we had the original resolution that we are now addressing and looking at. The original was as given to us and asked for us to consider. The second one that was recommended by Jeff, would you like to talk a little more in reference to why we come to this?
Sure. I mean, I don't think, speaking to all three of you, I think it's your desire to pass a resolution to make it, to show a very strong affirmation that this is what you would like to proceed with, right? That you believe in your Second Amendment rights in regards to guns and firearms. I think we kind of, in the discussions, have agreed that the paragraph 3, the paragraph that we are omitting from one version, probably goes overboard on what I would advise you to be able to do. And I think by omitting it, you're not changing the intent, you're not changing the effectiveness, you're not changing the impact of this document. So my recommendation would be to not have that paragraph in there. I do believe we've talked about the idea that the sheriff, maybe perhaps to attest to the document, and keep that as a part of there to show some solidarity between the sheriff's department as well.
Okay.
Okay, Kyle?
Any other ideas?
I'm okay with any of this. It's, you know, I'm on the same page you guys are. The only question is, what can we legally do and not do, you know? The state's attorney general could, if he wanted to, could send us a note and say, you know, thanks for the mail, but we'll, you know, it's still non-binding as far as the state's concerned, but it does send the right message, I believe. So I'm acceptable to either version. I don't care. I know there's been some question. There was a question at our last meeting whether or not the sheriff should or wanted to attest, because the sheriff really can't adopt a resolution. Only we can do that if he can attest to it. And he says that he is amenable to, tells me he's amenable to attesting this version number 2 for sure. So I don't know if he wants to speak to that today or not, but I'm, you know, I'm okay with whatever you guys want to do.
Did you want to speak to it, Joey, or not? You
Yeah,
don't want to twist your arm or anything?
No. And I apologize for not being here last time. I was really unaware we were ready to make that step. So, and I was meeting with some people I couldn't just get up to leave. So, Lonnie and I have had several conversations. I believe the version that has been presented to me, the one that Mr. Westling has approved, I have no problems attesting to it at all. Obviously, we always have to put that precursor in there, I guess, that, you know, there are things that we're going to have to abide by, and I think, you know, in private conversations with Lonnie that, you know, he understands red flag laws and And if the judge says, hey, you have to go take this person's guns, we don't have any opposition to that. We have to do it, or they'll remove me from office, and or any of us if we're not following state law. And if they remove us, they're going to want to put somebody in here that's going to do what they say. And I think we live in a good state that is pro-gun, and it's all of our concern is that turns the other way, that we don't want any more restrictions. I think what's in place is sufficient. I think the people that are elected are mindful of that. There are not many cases in a year that we are confiscating guns from anybody. It is usually a last resort where somebody's made some kind of declaration of harming themselves or others, they're mentally unstable or other criteria. So I'm fully supporting the resolution. I think it shows Fayette County is standing up for our rights, our Second Amendment rights. And if we get to the point in this state where somebody feels that, like in Virginia or somewhere else, that we need to restrict those things, that Fayette County has showed some solidarity, and that we're going to stand up for our rights. So all that being said, the version that Mr. Westling approved, I fully attest to and put my stamp of approval on.
Thank you. In that case, I'll go ahead and move to approve version number 2 of the Constitutional Assurance Resolution.
I'll second the motion to approve the Constitutional Assurance Resolution of Fayette County.
This number would be, Jane, do you have a number for the minutes? Yeah? Is it 1, maybe?
I'm sorry.
Well, we'll hold that to your
Was the
bookkeeping
invocation policy a resolution, or was it just a policy?
policy.
Okay, so yeah, it should be one.
Motion made and seconded that we adopt and approve the Constitutional Assurance Resolution on, with our attorney's recommendations to modifying his modifying recommendations. Is there any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Thank you very much for the time you put into it. We appreciate it.
I officially request, pulling my request for a parking spot downstairs.
Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on to new business. I'd really like to move the order of this, if you guys don't mind. I think we can get Don and Sam out of here a little quicker than maybe with the mowing bids. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Don, we'll go with the Everton Water Corporation.
Don Steiner at Everton Water Corporation. We are doing a building addition to our treatment facility. It's going to include a lab and restrooms and a few odds and ends. And that's all through our ORCA grant that is administered through the county. And we're just here to request the building permit fee waivers for that
Okay.
building.
We've done that for you guys before, Don.
I understand, but
We just have to go through it.
just have to go through the motions. I understand all that.
I'll move to waive the building permit fees for the Everton Water Corporation.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded that we waive the building permit fees for the Everton Water Corporation, the Ochre Grant construction project, currently underway or soon be.
Soon be under construction, yeah, waiting on weather break.
Yeah. And is there any other questions? All in
Can you
favor?
hurry the weather break up?
Yeah, really.
No kidding.
Amen. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes.
Thank you very much. I think
Thank
it's
you.
part of the project.
Yeah. Mr. Harvey.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm Sam Harvey, President of Historic Connersville Incorporated. Mr. President, I'm here also to ask for waiver of building permit fees. We want to build a storage facility over on Washington Street behind Rips Barbecue, 509, 511, and 515 Washington Street. Will allow us to, the items we have on storage on our 2 Vine Street locations, to empty those buildings and hopefully get those sold in the near future and get them back on the tax rolls of the county. So we're wanting to build a building over there, pole barn construction, 28 by 32, and storage only. So won't be any of our museum visitors going through there. But, appreciate your consideration.
Sam, you know the way we hoard things over there, that building's not gonna be
Yeah,
big
that's what I was
enough.
wondering.
I was gonna say, we're gonna have to have a sale.
Sure you don't need 160 or something like that?
Yeah.
Those, we could in the future maybe expand over there on Washington Street, although those lots are not very big.
I'll move to approve to waive the building permit fee for Historic Connersville Incorporated and their storage building project.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded that we waive the building permit fees for this storage building project that they're currently working on. Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll move back to the cemetery mowing bids then. I think we took them, or received them. 4 of them. We have 4. Jane says. I'll just pass them down and let someone open them.
Brought my letter over.
Is it a case?
That's a lot better job than that little one I. Here's one here.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Let's see, we've got one.
The first one I have here is from David Spivey for a total cost of $17,000. Second one is Jay McAtee, I believe is how that's pronounced, for $17,500.
That's the way I read it.
Me too.
Okay. The third bid is from Tom, is that pronounced Cooley?
Yeah, I think so.
For $6,500 in the amount of. The fourth bid is from Hunter Sullenberger for $20,000. I guess the difference between these, I guess I would be concerned.
Here's a certificate of liability for David Spivey.
Yeah, that goes with this. I would be concerned that they understood what they were bidding on.
Too.
That does call into question. It might, we have the president of the cemetery commission here. Might be advisable for us to let the cemetery commission review these and advise us before we.
I would encourage them to make contact with all four bidders and make sure that they're clear on what they're bidding on without, well, it's public knowledge now, the numbers,
Yeah.
so that's not a problem, but I'd just like I'd like to verify that this person is bidding on the same thing these three are bidding on. I mean, the other three I can see, they're them, but this is, the 6,500 is very far off. And if he understands fully, this is a great deal. But I just want to make sure, so I would entertain a motion to table.
Yeah, I'll move to take these bids under advisement and provide the cemetery commission with a copy of them today, let them review them and
Will you
get
be-
back with us, give us some advice on these, what will be the best bid on these.
Will you be meeting before our next meeting, or?
Yeah, it
Yes.
should be at first of the month.
Okay, all right, great.
I just question though, do we need to have a special meeting and advertise that we're gonna vote on this, or can we just?
Do it in regular meeting.
Do it in your regular meeting.
Well, we don't meet again until, I think, the 7th.
That's okay.
No, you can have a special meeting if you want to.
Yeah, if you want to.
See,
But our next meeting is,
April 7th?
April.
Okay, ours is the 6th, yours is the 6th.
yeah, so if you met the 6th and,
Does that not throw it off starting the 1st? Because contract's supposed to start the 1st.
I honestly can't see them mowing.
I'd say it starts when you say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually
Well, if
starts
that's
when the
okay,
grass
then
is
we'll
tall
just
enough
do
to
that.
mow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it's necessary to call everybody in on a special meeting unless everybody absolutely wants to. We're trying to hold down public meetings as much
Right.
as possible, so
Right.
if we can keep to our regular meetings, I for one would greatly appreciate that, so.
Me too.
So if you want to, you can obtain copies of all four bids from Jane, and you guys can talk with those bidders and make sure they're clear on what they were bidding on and so on and so forth, so. And then come back with a recommendation, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, there's motion, was there a second?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. A motion made and seconded that we take these 4 bids under advisement and ask our cemetery commission to evaluate them and bring back a recommendation to us. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Sorry. Got carried away. I understand we have a alcohol beverage board appointment. I'm not aware of what's going on.
I'll explain this. A number of weeks ago, Dale Lanning, who's our appointment to the Alcoholic Beverage Board, told me that he would like to give that position up because they meet at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is a bad time for him, and he would just as soon to give it up if we could find someone. And this has gone on for a couple of months or so, and I put some feelers out and did find someone who was willing to fill his position. They meet on the first Wednesday of the month. So their next meeting will be Wednesday, April 1st, and Mr. Lanning has agreed to stay and fulfill that duty through their April meeting, which will be April 1st. And Ed Harrell has agreed to replace him on that board if we so choose.
And our appointment, correct me if I'm wrong, must be a registered Democrat?
Yes.
Because the council's representative is a registered Republican,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, and that board does require political parity. So if we want to approve putting Ed Harrell on there to take Mr. Lanning's place, he has agreed to, he could attend that April 1st meeting and get his paperwork together and everything and familiarize himself with the way the thing works, and that would give him a full month then to officially take over at their next meeting. So if if you guys want to, we could make his appointment effective April 2nd. But he's the only
Would allow
one.
Dale to sit in
Yeah.
that meeting.
Yeah, that would allow Dale to complete the April 1st meeting, and then the next day Ed would be the official appointee. Unless you guys have somebody else in mind. But Ed was the only one, after a number of weeks, was the only one that stepped up and said he'd be willing to do it.
Okay,
You know?
okay. Is that,
So that's the reason that's coming up today, because Dale Lanning
Has asked to.
wanted to give it up.
so this will be to finish his term?
Yeah, to finish the unexpired term of Dale Lanning.
And would that, does that
How
expire?
much more time is there on that, like 3 years?
I think we've been making them annually, haven't we?
Yes.
If I remember right.
Okay, I don't have my computer turned on, so that's not,
Yeah, I think they're annual appointments.
okay, all right.
That makes a second board member there that's quit in the recent months. Barton Barker gave it up too.
Yes, he did.
And I can't remember who the council replaced him with.
If,
So,
if they have yet, have they?
Yeah,
Have they?
yeah.
I'll entertain a motion then.
yeah, I'll move to appoint Ed Harrell to replace Dale Lanning on the Alcoholic Beverage Board effective April 2nd,
And finish out that term.
to finish the unexpired term of Dale Lanning.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded that we appoint Ed Harrell to, effective April 2nd, to replace Dale Lanning, to finish out his term on the Alcoholic Beverage Board. Any questions or discussion further? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. Any other new business that needs to come?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to sign claims and payroll as presented.
I'll move to approve the claims and payroll.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded that we approve claims and payroll as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes. I'll start passing things down for signatures. To just go over everything so that the general public knows. We will be limiting access to our county buildings to one location, one entry and one, they will be asked some questions and screened before entry. We please ask to do all the business with the county that you can do through email, telephone, mail, online. However, if you do need to physically come to the courthouse or any of the county buildings, we please ask you not to come with symptoms. We will ask you not to enter if you do have any signs or symptoms. Please call the office that you're doing business with if you need to do business or think you need to do business with them. Call them. They can advise you whether it is absolutely necessary to conduct that business at this time, or whether it can be delayed. There are several things that are filed that sometimes the deadline dates aren't till the end of the year. So please call the office holders and ask them before you come, if you feel that it's absolutely necessary for you to come to do your business at the courthouse. With that, is there anything I need to add to that?
I think that's good.
Let's just hope all this is over soon.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Meeting adjourned.